What is up, everyone? It is Galaxy After Dark, and today we're going to be doing something a little different from my normal content. Today, we are going to be reacting to a video. Today, I'm going to be giving my reaction and personal opinion on the Golden Knight, Cannon Cart, and Goblin Hut rework. So let's see what's
Changes
up.
I present to you a one-of-a-kind, calming, relaxing Clash Royale experience. Welcome to Galaxy After Dark.
Somewhat coincidental, but it's better to change multiple things at once instead of every month, like one random card getting reworked. It'll just make it easier to learn everything at once.
That, and I know some people aren't a fan of this, but it also shakes up the meta a lot. And I think that's pretty fun when like just new chaos just emerges and it takes like a week or two to settle down. But that's just me. I know a lot of people do not like drastic sudden meta changes. Like, for example, the Goblin Machine or something like that. But that's too drastic. These are just reworks of pre-existing cards. So I think we'll be better than that type of stuff.
Hi, I'm Donald. I'm a gameplay designer on Clash Royale, and we're going to be talking about card reworks. We've buffed Golden Knight twice last year, pretty significant buffs, but it just never moved the needle on its place in the meta. How many more buffs does he need? 3, 5? We believe it just needs a rework to the ability at this point. I don't know, where is it in frame? Like, old ability was very complicated, a 6-step system with semicircles and a bunch of geometry, but ultimately what it meant is he can't dash backwards, and if you played cards like Goblin Gang behind him, it would just fully counter the ability, and we're changing that. The new logic is we're removing all the semicircles. He could dash backwards, it'll be a full 360-degree radius. It won't be countered by behind placements, it'll act much more intuitively. We're reworking.
That is probably going to be so unbelievably annoying. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a limit on how many cards he can hit in one dash ability thing? Nonetheless, if you don't have any swarm stuff like Skeleton Army, you're basically gonna have to wait for his ability to be over to counter him or something, because he's just gonna kill all your troops unless you're like super tanky. And sure, like, you know, Knight the middle will still counter him just fine, but if you're playing Swarm or Bait like I do, I'm not sure. I definitely do agree, he's needed buffed, he's fucking horrible, but I don't know, we're just gonna have to see how this plays out.
In Cannon Cart, we're removing the shield and replacing it with what we call a segmented health bar, just like Goblin Demolisher and Boss Bandit. We're doing this specific rework for bug fixing and more like technical reasons that are above my pay grade. There's just a lot of specific code in the game about Cannon Cart, and we're just trying to move it to a more generalized system and, you know, clean up the game. If you rocket the Cannon Cart now, it'll deal the full damage, not just break the shield or bring it to 50% HP. Some other cards, like Inferno cards, they'll keep charging even when it becomes a building. Before, they used to interrupt the charge and reset. And one of the bugs we're fixing that comes up quite often is Cannon Cart versus Evolved P.E.K.K.A. Evolved P.E.K.K.A. won't heal twice anymore. Now it'll only heal once, which is much more intuitive.
This just sounds like an overall nerf. It doesn't even sound like a rework. Unless they're giving it stat bonuses, I think this is going to murder the Cannon Cart. In my opinion, Cannon Cart is a very annoying card, but that's like if we nerfed the Witch, and this was filmed before the evolution, I don't know how strong that is, but it's like if we nerfed the Witch, or Barbarians, or Wizards, something like that. If we made a bad card even worse. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna have to put Rascals back in my deck. Been using Cannon Cart, but I think it's time to go.
The Goblin Hut will work entirely differently now.
A quick editor note. In this original recording, I did not notice that the health bar still goes down on the new Goblin Hut, so forgive me for what I say later in the video.
We're completely reworking the logic. It's getting an art refresh, new card icon, new sprites. Instead of passively spawning spear goblins, it'll reactively spawn them.
In my opinion, honestly, I think this is the best rework out of the three because it's kind of unique. I'm kind of alright with this one. However, I can see this being a problem, especially if people just like Goblin Hut mirror in the back and stuff, people are gonna have to like fireball those and stuff. I think if Goblin Hut becomes good, Earthquake is gonna skyrocket, which in turn means Hog Rider's probably gonna skyrocket, which in turn means I'm going to be mad because I don't like playing against Hog Rider. It's also gonna kind of kill double spawner. Hear me out, I know nobody cares about double spawner anymore, but every now and then when I'm bored, just playing for fun, I will play Double Spawner, and it's pretty fun. I feel like this has a lot more of a possibility of making the Goblin Hut a better card. Once again, we'll have to see how this all plays out. I think this is the best out of the 3 so far. Well, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments below, because these are quite interesting in my opinion. I think the best rework is going to be the Goblin Hut, then the Golden Knight, then the Cannon card. Let me know what you think. This has been Galaxy After Dark, and I will see you later. Like, subscribe, and share.